Hello everyone, this is Nitrofusion here and welcome back to another episode of Science Explained. This is episode number 9 and today we are taking a look at our brother planet, the eternal red Mars. Of course, before this video starts, make sure to leave a like and subscribe since it would be a great help to me. Plus it's free, so why not? So, without further ado, let's get into the topic then. So, Mars. You should be fairly familiar with it if you have been to any form of primary school, provided that you are older than 6. But if you really don't know what is Mars, here is my explanation. It is a rocky planet in the solar system. It is further to the Sun than the Earth, and it looks red on the telescope. The size is smaller than Earth, and it is the 4th planet of the solar system if you count from the Sun all the way to the edge. Hopefully that will give you a rough idea of what is Mars. Of course, if you want some cool facts about Mars, here it comes. The mean radius of Mars is slightly more than half of Earth's. However, the mass is just over 10% of the Earth's mass. One Mars day is just very slightly longer than Earth day. The temperatures of Mars is the closest to Earth's, and in some occasions might even be habitable for humans and other lives. Its atmosphere is mainly made up of carbon dioxide, so humans will have problems breathing on Mars without any survival instruments. However, plants might survive on Mars and produce enough oxygen for our need. Now, humans have been observing Mars for thousands of years. It has been given lots of names by different historical civilizations. In English and most other languages, it was named after the Roman god of war, Mars, and in ancient Greece they called it Ares, the Greek god of war. The reason they name it after gods of war is that Mars is red, an ominous colour normally signifying war in ancient mythologies. In some countries such as China, Japan, Korea, Vietnam, Iran, Malaysia and more, Mars is known as the fiery planet, again because of its red colour. In Hebrew, it's simply red planet. Simple, nice, it's my style. You might be curious on why I want to talk about Mars now on Science Explained at this time. It's not random, you see. 2 days ago, China has launched its Mars exploration spacecraft Tianwen-1, and the NASA Mars 2020 program is scheduled to launch at 30th July. The Arabian Mars program called Hope was launched at 19th July. Of course, these Mars missions launch at almost the same time for a reason: the 2 years and 2 months launch window to Mars. You see, as the Earth and Mars are orbiting the Sun in orbit, moving out of Earth and encounter Martian orbit requires a lot of time and fuel. To minimize the time and fuel needed, we need to find a launch window that makes the probe's route shorter. And now is the window. You might see from this image that in every Mars launch window there are some Mars probes being launched. Speaking of Mars probes, I think it would be good to talk a bit about the history of human exploration of Mars and the 3 Mars missions this year. The first successful mission to Mars is the Mariner 9 by NASA in 1964. It has completed a successful flyby on Mars and had taken the first digital image of Mars. In 1971, the Mariner 9 was the first probe to successfully orbit Mars. Merely months later, the Soviet Mars 3 lander successfully landed on Mars, only to lose contact less than 2 minutes after the probe had landed. In 1976, the NASA Viking 1 spacecraft successfully landed on Mars and transmitted the first coloured image of the Martian surface, which is cool. Since then, humans kept sending spacecraft, orbiters, landers and rovers onto Mars. The first successful functional Mars rover to land on Mars is called Sojourner, and it landed in 1997. It is very small and didn't do much, but at the very least there are rovers on Mars now. Yay, that's nice. After that, in 2004, a pair of twin rovers landed on Mars, the Spirit and Opportunity rover. These rovers are a lot bigger than the Sojourner rover and carries a lot more scientific instruments on board. Man, these rovers are fantastic. They had amazing lives. You see, they were planned to last just 90 days as Martian dust would cover the solar panels, making the rovers lose power. However, thanks to the Martian wind and occasional dust storms, the solar panels were periodically cleaned, and as a result, these two rovers operated for a very long time. The Spirit rover has its wheels stuck in sand in 2009 and lost contact in 2010. The Opportunity rover, however, lasted all the way until 2018. That's 6 years after the massive Curiosity rover has landed. 14 years of service. This rover lasted longer than a lot of cars. And mind you, the Opportunity rover operates on Mars, not Earth. Plus, the rover has never undergone any maintenance since it landed on Mars in 2004. And later on in 2012, there is this Curiosity rover, which is huge. It is about the size of a car and carries a lot more science instruments. Also, an interesting fact is that this time the rover carries a radioisotope thermoelectric generator, or RTG, instead of a solar panel, which allows stable electric output without needing for Martian winds to come and blow the dust off. Of course, a thermoelectric nuclear generator produces a lot more power, allowing the rover to travel faster, more energy-intensive instruments to put on board, and more. Now, let us talk about the missions in 2020. The Emirates Mars mission is an unmanned Mars mission to Mars. It launched a Mars orbiter called Hope on a Japanese H2A rocket. Interestingly, the main purpose of this probe is not exploration or obtaining science data. You can see from its instruments, it only carries 3 scientific instruments, a camera, an infrared spectrometer, and an ultraviolet spectrometer. Quite humble, I know, but its main purpose is to prove to the world that the Muslim community is able to contribute to the world in terms of science. So that's pretty neat. The Chinese Mars mission, called Tianwen-1, or Questions to the Heaven, which came from a very old Chinese poem written more than 2,000 years ago, is quite an ambitious program and will be the first mission to land, orbit, and deploy a rover to Mars all in one single mission. It consists of an orbiter which carries 7 scientific instruments, a lander which acts as a communication bridge between the orbiter and the rover which has 6 science instruments on board. The purpose of this mission is to find evidence for past and current life, produce Martian surface maps, characterize Martian soil composition and water ice distribution, and more. The NASA 2020 Mars program consists of the Perseverance rover, the Curiosity rover's twin sibling, and a tiny little Mars drone called Ingenuity. It is very tiny and will be the first flying object on Mars. The Perseverance rover carries less science instruments compared to its brother Curiosity, because its main mission is to collect Martian surface material and store it so that it could be returned in a future Mars sample return mission. Pretty cool, huh? Of course, there is many more to be said about Mars, but sadly, we are running out of time for today's episode. Hope you have enjoyed, and make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.